the cost of living is obviously the number one issue for pretty much everyone. That's what I hear from everyone. And the real truth about the cost of living, the fact that we got the highest gas prices, highest electricity bills, highest cost for housing, all of these things, there's one underlying reason for that. And that is the Democrats' climate agenda, as they call it. That's what's pushing up the cost of gas, all these endless climate regulations, the low carbon fuel standard, the cap and trade system, the refinery regulations, the shutting down of California oil and gas production. So we're importing oil from halfway around the world on dirty super tankers. As governor, I would get rid of all of that. And so instead of heading towards $8 gas, which is what's happening right now, we would have $3 gas. You look at the same story when it comes to electricity bills. Our electric bills are double the national average. That is entirely because of the Democrats' climate policies that have made us more dependent on unreliable and more expensive sources of electricity like wind and solar. Instead of that, I will harness our natural gas resources in California so we can bring our electric bills down. And then finally, when you look at the cost of housing, that too is driven sky high, the highest cost in the country because of the Democrats' climate policies, the endless climate regulations on the building of apartments and houses that make it 4 or 5 times as expensive to build anything in California as it does in neighboring states. The fact that they're trying to squeeze everything into inner cities and what they call infill development instead of building outwards so people can have the California dream of a single family home in a suburban neighborhood. I'll get rid of all those regulations so we can give everyone the chance to get a home of your own that you own and you afford. With homelessness, I think it's just important to remember that all of this could have been avoided. We don't see these kinds of scenes of squalor and despair and addiction on the streets in other states. It's entirely the result of Democrat policies that have said we'll let people just sleep on the streets, even though it's against the law. It's been against the law all along. So when you see these mayors like Todd Gloria turning around saying, well, now we're going to clear the homeless encampments. They could have done it years ago. They could and should have done it years ago. And as governor, I would make sure that any place in California that doesn't enforce the law on encampments, I will use state law enforcement resources to do that. But it's not enough just to get people off the streets. You've got to get people who are homeless into the treatment and the services they need, whether that's mental health treatment, drug or alcohol addiction treatment. And again, you've got these crazy Democrat policies like Housing First, which, as far as I understand, Mayor Gloria is still supportive of, which means that you cannot require people who are homeless, who have addiction problems, to get clean, to get sober, to get off drugs so they get their lives back on track. That's what we have to do if we want to solve this problem for the long term and not just shuffle people around.